After a 2-1 weekend to open the season, the Port Huron Prowlers stay home at McMorran Place as they welcome in the Carolina Thunderbirds. Good evening, everyone. My name is Will Wiggleman, and the Prowlers, again, coming off that 2-1 weekend, getting 2 wins in 3 games against the Motor City Rockers, and tonight, they take on the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year, the Carolina Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds haven't played a game yet this season. However, they come in with a very strong roster, similar to last season, with one major difference. We'll get into that a little bit later, but the Prowlers will look to move to 3-1 on the season and get another win over a Continental Division rival. All that and more coming up in the pregame show in just a few minutes. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Adventures await you at the award-winning DoubleTree by Hilton Port Huron. Experience the breathtaking view of sailboats and freighters, framed against the background of the impressive Blue Water Bridge, all from the comfort of your elegant guest room balcony. Planning a wedding? The DoubleTree by Hilton has the perfect setting to celebrate a marriage with its wonderful landscaping and beautiful reception area. So whether it's a romantic getaway, a family vacation, or a company outing, sweeten it with a view to remember at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Port Huron.
Back here at McMorran Place, pregame show continues here for the Prowlers on the Prowlers YouTube page. Will Wiggleman here with you. Let's take a look back at last weekend when the Prowlers took on the Motor City Rockers to open the 2022-23 FPHL season. It was a 3-2 win for Port Huron in the opening game of the season for the league down in Fraser. Coming back here to McMorran Place on that Friday, Prowlers beat Motor City again by a final score of 7-3. The offense exploding in that one, 4 power play goals for the Prowlers, and then a 2-1 loss for Port Huron on Saturday, Motor City taking the series finale. Now let's take a look at our player spotlight for tonight. And Austin Federley had a big series last weekend, 4 assists, at least 1 assist in all 3 games, 4 points. And he also had a fight in that Thursday night matchup in Motor City. Danik Rodriguez took a couple of big shots in goal, and Austin Federley was one of the guys standing up for his goaltender. He's looking to have another big night tonight, with the Prowlers having a couple of different guys out of the lineup, a couple new guys in the lineup. We'll get into that a little bit later. Looking at the Carolina Thunderbirds, last season was a pretty good one for them. They ended up beating the Prowlers again in the first round. They did lose in the next round to the eventual champion Watertown Wolves, but Gus Ford set a single season record for points among Carolina Thunderbirds with 84. And then the Thunderbirds made one of the biggest moves of the offseason. They traded goaltender Chris Paulin to the Watertown Wolves in exchange for Ryan Devine, a familiar name for some Prowlers fans. He spent some time here in Port Huron. He's not here tonight, but it was a monster trade when it came down and a big upgrade for Carolina on defense, but it came at the expense of one of the best goaltenders in franchise history for the Carolina Thunderbirds, the man who won this team's first ever win, got this team's first ever win. He was in goal for it, and of course, finishing second all-time in Thunderbirds history in wins, and also number 1 in games played by a goaltender. Well, the Prowlers also have a couple of new faces on the roster coming in tonight. One of them, a new old face, Matt Stoya, returning on loan from Quad City. He was here in the 2019-20 season. Prowlers still had his rights. Played last year in Quad City, 12 points in 62 games. Went there for training camp and ended up coming back after that. Tucker Scantleberry will make his pro hockey debut out of Red Deer Polytechnic. He had 18 points in 15 games played in his senior season there. He ended up going to training camp down in Macon, but ended up coming back to the Prowlers. And then Vinny DeCumbis, he started the season in the MyHL over in Switzerland. The Swiss native just getting prepared for the North American season to start. Prowlers signed him today and added him to the roster today. So few new faces for the Prowlers, all of them in the lineup. And let's take a look at the lineup for the Port Huron Prowlers. Our projected lines can keep that first line together. Devaney Foley and Vartiainen. That was so effective in that first weekend. Scantleberry sliding into Sam Merritt's spot on the second line with Matt Graham and Dalton Jay. Remember, Merritt serving a one-game suspension along with Alex Johnson for the shenanigans at the end of Saturday's game that included Ross Bartlett tossing Frank Schumacher's stick into the stand. So Merritt and Johnson having to sit out this game. So the new faces coming at a great time for the Prowlers. DeCumbus sliding into that third line with Dakota Ulmer and Austin Federley. Austin Weber out of the lineup tonight. Danny Chartrand slides in as the extra forward. That third line are projected starters for tonight. On defense, that Schumacher-Henning pairing staying together, and then a bit of shakeup in the bottom four as Brian Parsons will play with Gino Minnie. Minnie started last weekend with Alex Johnson. Parsons was with Adam Hainzel. Hainzel still on that third pair, but he'll be paired with Matt Stoya. Those two set to start the game for the Port Huron Prowlers. And in goal, Danik Rodrigue making his third professional start. Prowlers and Thunderbirds just minutes away here from McMorran Place. We'll have all that for you in just a few minutes. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. Teams taking the ice here at McMorran Place. And currently down on the starting lineup, the Thunderbirds have 4 forwards listed and 1 defenseman. That defenseman being Yuri Pastuka, but the forwards listed on here are Dawson Baker, Lucas Rowe, Josh Keplinger, and Viktor Grebenikov playing in his 100th career FPHL game. And the goaltender listed for the Carolina Thunderbirds is Mario Cavalieri, the Brock University product, making his North American professional debut. Prowlers set to come out. We'll take you down to ice level for the starting lineups. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page.
Let's welcome the Prowlers Spirit Director is Christine. Prowlers fans, are you ready? It's time to meet tonight's starting lineup, presented by Orthopedic Associates. At forward, number 15, Dakota. Also at forward, number 19, Austin Federley. Also at forward, number 23, Vincent Combs. On defense, welcome back, number 55, Matt Zoya. Also on defense, number 74, Adam Heintzel. Number 39, Dennis Rodriguez. And let's welcome to the action the rest of your Port Huron Prowlers. The head coach and general manager of your Port Huron Prowlers is Matt Graham. Assistant coach and assistant general manager, Alex Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And gentlemen, may we suggest removing your cap as we honor America and salute the men and women serving our country with the singing of our national anthem, sponsored by directly by Mike Batchelor. We remind all members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform that you may render the military salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sarah Dent.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Just about set to go here at McMorran Place in Port Huron. We thank you for joining us on this Friday night. Let's take a look deeper at the goaltending matchup. First, for the Carolina Thunderbirds, it's Mario Cavalieri. The 25-year-old went to Brock University, spent his first pro season last year in Sweden with a 17-7 record, 2.63 goals against average, and a .913 save percentage to go along with one shutout. Meanwhile, for the Prowlers, it's Danik Rodrigue for the third time this year. He's 1-1 on the season with a 2.02 goals against average and a .948 save percentage. He made 73 saves in 2 starts over last weekend. Both teams getting set to go. And we'll let you know as soon as we find out which of these Thunderbirds forwards is actually playing defense. It looks like it's going to be Lucas Rowe lining up on the blue line. Excuse me, it's going to be Grebenikov. So Victor Grebenikov in his 100th career FPHL game lining up on defense for the Carolina Thunderbirds. Ulmer and Rowe setting up for the opening draw between these two Continental Division rivals. And we're underway. Ulmer takes it forward into the zone himself. Knocked down by Pastuca. First hit of the night. Sent deep on the first touch for Vinny DeCumbus. Ulmer trying to turn it back down deep. 2-on-2 scrum in the corner, and Keplinger takes it on the far side. DeCumbus right in on him. Rowe able to get it out. Baker deflects it in deep. Rodrigue out to play it. He wraps it around towards Dalton J, fresh off the bench. Gets it to Ulmer, in by himself as the Prowlers in the midst of a change. Steps by Rowe, but couldn't get by second man, and it's wrapped around to Schumacher at the point. Put it on goal, steered aside. Jay tried to put it back in front, couldn't do it. Now here come the Thunderbirds the other way. Schumacher up to Jay. He just gets it in deep. Matt Graham first on it for the Prowlers. Tried to work it in front, but instead it was turned over. Justin Pringle gets it into the Prowlers' end. Schumacher double team behind the net. Pringle and Batita digging for it. Graham comes in to help. Puck still locked up in skates. It's between Schumacher's feet, now off the back of the goal. And here's Tucker Scantleberry, the 23-year-old. He was in Fayetteville's camp in the SPHL, now working behind the net. Tried to feed it in front. Couldn't get it all the way there. And Batita off the boards and out. Here's Ford, over to Pringle, he scores! Broken play at the blue line, and the Thunderbirds able to come in on a 2-on-1, and Justin Pringle gets Carolina on the board first, just under 2 minutes in. Gus Ford setting up Pringle. Again, Ford setting franchise records for points in a season with 84 last year. Came on 43 goals and 41 assists. Pringle, former Kingston Frontenac in the OHL, played 3 seasons there. This is his first with the Carolina Thunderbirds. Minnie tried to come in, but Foley couldn't do the splits far enough. Offsides is the call with a minute 53 into this one, already a 1-0 Carolina lead. Batita picking up the other assist on that one, team high 51 last year. That dump comes right in on Cavalieri, and he's forced to hold on. Offensive zone draw coming for the Prowlers with that Foley line out there with Parsons and Minnie. PV to draw with Foley, and Evan Foley wins it back. Parsons sends it to the opposite side corner. Devaney behind the net, goes through Foley. Vartiainen and Burge come together, puck stays in. Devaney on goal, off of Cavalieri's blocker and out of the zone. Schnapp took a hit as he got it in deep. Rodrigue will cover that bounce off the backboards for a whistle. Jacob Schnapp in his second FPHL season, 41 points in 51 games last year as a rookie. Played in the USPHL, Premier, SJHL, and WSHL. The former Carolina Junior Hurricane didn't have to go far from his junior club to start his pro career. Two-on-two battle in the near side corner. Hainsel trying to dig it loose of Rowe. Keplinger works it back to the point. Pastuca gets it right back deep. Federley tried to lift it out, kept in at the line. Rowe trying to work on Hainsel. Now he'll turn back. Lucas Rowe taken away. Now Hainsel will start the breakout. Stoya right up the boards. but unable to be handled by Tecumseh. Goes all the way deep into Carolina ice, just over 3 minutes in. Back deep, Rodrigue hands it off to Henning. Henning from his knees gets it to Dalton J. Now across near side to Scandalberry. He'll dump it in. Cavalieri plays it, but right to Jay. He gets it to Matt Graham. Back to the point, D to D over to Stoya. Put it on net, deflected, and Cavalieri has it in the glove. Scantleberry was looking for it. Offensive zone faceoff coming for the Prowlers. To Cavalieri's right. Won by Carolina. Rims up on Butita. He'll backhand it down all the way. Icing is called as Schumacher gets there first. Butita, the captain for this Carolina team, also doubles as an assistant coach. Began his FPHL career with Mentor nearby his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. Jay works it back to Henning at the point. Down deep towards Graham. He's locked up behind the net. And Butita off the boards and out. Henning trying to put it back in. Scantleberry tipped it up, but Butita first on it. Back to Firth at the point. Wrist shot save by Rodrigue, and he'll hold on. Both teams make changes off of that whistle. Foley line coming back out for the Prowlers. Gonna be Burridge, Martin, and Peavy up front with Campbell and French, the defense pair for Carolina. Schumacher off the boards. Devaney turned it over. Peavy stops up, shoots. Missed it wide. Bartianen tried to push it out, couldn't do it. Now try the other side. Taken away by Martin. Martin gets it back. Quick pass off, but that shot didn't get to the net. Peavy trying to wrap it around, couldn't do so. Now Henning. Trying to push his way past a couple of Thunderbirds. Devaney gets it deep into Thunderbird territory, and the Prowlers will make a full change save for Joe Devaney. Nathan Campbell stopping up behind the net. 4 points in 2 playoff games against the Huron Prowlers last season. Now Rowe trying to dangle through everyone. Minnie takes it away and clears it back. Grebenikov tried to get it up. Comes back to him. Now Victor Grebenikov into the zone. Parsons collapsed on by a couple of Thunderbirds. He moves it to Federley. Austin Federley dumps it in deep on Cavalieri. He'll cover up. We'll take a quick timeout. 1-0 Carolina here from McMorran Place. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. Back here at McMorran Place, set for an offensive zone faceoff for the Prowlers, trailing 1-0 to the Carolina Thunderbirds. Rimmed around all the way down, straight off the draw, so we'll do it again in Thunderbirds territory, as icing called again against Carolina. Ulmer and Rowe back on it. Ripped around the boards. This time Parsons cuts it off. Brian Parsons lost his stick trying to play it with his feet. Here comes Carolina. Prowlers back in numbers. As that shot blocked by Minnie. Trying to shake off that stinger. Looked like it hit his foot. Backhanded back deep, but over the glass and out of play. A shade under 6 minutes into the first period. Carolina already with a 1-0 lead on the Port Huron Prowlers. Austin Federley having some discussions with a couple of Thunderbirds, namely Dawson Baker. Another former Kingston Frontenac. The Thunderbirds have a few of those on this team. Stoya, long pass up to Jay, missed him. Thunderbirds turn it back. Hainsel behind his own net. Fanned on the pass towards Stoya. He'll just work it up the boards. Pringle trying to turn the other way. Justin Pringle dangling in, drops for Brutita. Shot waffle boarded aside by Rodrigue. Dumped to the right wing corner, off the boards. Firth took the shot. Rodrigue got it in the glove, and he'll hold on. Shots officially 4-3 Port Huron right now, but seems like Carolina's carried the play for much of the opening few minutes. Dalton Jay trying to change that. Here, Scantleberry tried to slide it back to Jay, but it was blocked by a back-checking Thunderbird. That was Tucker Firth. Rowe moving the other direction. Taken in by Stoya. Foley takes it. Trying to move off to Jay. Back on net. Rodrigue got it with the blocker. Goes out of play. Prowlers will complete a change. Scantleberry also almost getting himself a big cheer from this Port Huron crowd. That pass just blocked away on the rush with Dalton Jay. As the Prowlers clear off the draw. Campbell watched by Vartiainen. Now he'll stop up in the corner, look for some more space. Makes the pass off the boards. Ford had to come back for it. Now back into Prowler territory, icing waved off. Heading behind his own net. Looking for a play as the Prowlers begin a breakout. Off the boards to Schumacher. He gets it up towards Foley, deflected into Carolina's end, but from his own side of center. So icing is called. Foley and Ford to draw to Rodrigue's left. Back to the point, sent back down low. Ford on the backhand, didn't hit the net. And now Vartiainen trying to slide it up towards Devaney instead of taking himself, but he works in offside. Bit of a choppy start here, couple of icings, couple of offsides from both teams. We're not yet 8 minutes in, and the Thunderbirds hold a 1-0 lead. Ulmer and Peavy to draw. False start by Peavy, so we'll try it again. This time, Schnapp to take it for Carolina, and he wins it back to Grebenikov. Behind his own cage, Victor Grebenikov looking for a play. He'll move up to the left wing boards, quickly move to Pastuca, now back to Grebenikov. He turned it over. Ulmer tried to dance in. Instead, Cavalieri works it around. Decumbis first on it, pushed it towards the net. Pastuca cut it off. Federley knocked that puck down. And Pastuca goes off the glass all the way down. It's going to be another icing against the Carolina Thunderbirds. Gramline coming back out for Port Huron. Schumacher and Henning staying out. All 5 Thunderbirds must stay out after the icing. Scantleberry and Jay switch sides for the face-off, both moving to their off wings. Dalton Jay takes it, tried to push it on net, and the rebound pushed just wide by Scantleberry. Schumacher off the boards back to center, and now Graham up to Henning. Moved back to Matt Graham, but the pass was in his feet. Thunderbirds come back the other way. Rowe missed it wide. Scantleberry off the wall. Graham slaps it back out to center. Firth takes it back into his own end. D to Bioni. Scantleberry takes the turnover. Down low, Jay tried to slide it in front for Graham. Cavalieri got the stick on it, or else Matt Graham would have had a backdoor opportunity. Parsons sent it on net, and Cavalieri deflects it out of play. Couple of good scoring chances for the Prowlers, not yet able to break through. Still 1-0 Carolina, as we're just over 9 minutes into the first period. Rowe wins the draw from Foley. Now Keplinger. Pass goes off a skate, so the Prowlers turn it back the other way. Devaney in, shoots, whisked it wide. Minnie and Baker get there together. Now Baker behind his own net. Sent it to Firth. His pass out of the reach of Bioni. So here comes Foley. Keplinger takes it back for Carolina. Devaney takes it first in the corner. Back to Foley. Foley in front, miss everyone, and Parsons puts it back on net. Firth gets down to block it. Back to the point, Parsons unable to keep it in. So Rodrigue comes out of his net to keep things moving. Ripped off the far side boards. Here's French. Now Bioni. Moved up to Keplinger, off the boards and in. Ford and Minnie there together, they cancel out. And Ulmer up to Federley, 2-on-2 rush. He's got Tecumseh with him. Austin Federley takes the shot. Missed it wide to the short side. Parsons tried to put it back on, but only Thunderbirds there. Campbell gets it out. Ford in the corner, quickly to Pringle. He's taken in by Minnie. And Tecumseh takes the puck. Federley slides up to Ulmer. Federley gets it back, inside out, and a kick save by Cavalieri. Beck couldn't keep it in at the point. Ford dancing through. Jay comes back, make a big play. Stoya lost his stick, kicks it up in Scantleberry's direction. And now Scantleberry will chase after it in the Carolina zone. Big hit on Grebenikov, but the pass from Graham back out to center, where Stoya controls. Scantleberry turns the corner and heads in. Scantleberry tried to get a shot on goal, couldn't, and Cavalieri covers up that loose puck. 8:49 to go in the first period. Still 1-0 Carolina from McMorran Place. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers trailing the Carolina Thunderbirds 1-0. Face off to Mario Cavalieri's left. Won by Carolina. Grebenikov pass out of the reach of Peavy streaking up. Rodrigue out of his net to play it away from an oncoming Thunderbird. Now Stoya moved up the boards. Graham slaps at it, gets it in deep. Grebenikov taken into the wall. Here's Grebenikov with the puck. Moved up to Martin. Dropped back. Peavy a shot. Gloved by Rodrigue with a man in his crease. And now the rough stuff starting a little bit. Martin has dropped his gloves. Stoya has not. Seemed Danny Martin and Matt Stoya were on different pages on whether or not they wanted to tussle. Martin has to go collect his equipment. No penalties seeming to come from this. Just an offensive zone faceoff for the Carolina Thunderbirds, as both teams make changes. Keplinger and Foley lining up for the faceoff. Keplinger won it, but too far for Bioni, so he has to go back into his own end. Firth, Bioni knocked it down with his leg, goes back D to Firth again. Foley stepped in front of Baker. Now Devaney works into the zone. High shot, blocker to side. Now Vartiainen pushed up against the boards. Rowe took it away from Foley, moves over to the far side corner. Foley put it on net. Went behind the net. Now Vartiainen cycles it back deep. Back towards the point. Hainsel stepped up to keep it in. Now here's Hainsel, winds, fires, and Firth got down to block it. Puck popped out back in front, but the Prowlers couldn't find it. Here comes Keplinger. With Rowe, put it between his skates. Now Devaney trying to chase down the loose puck. French got there first. And now Devaney will come off for a change. Keplinger gets it in deep. Rodrigue leaves it for the captain, Dustin Henning. Henning in his 10th FPHL season works it up to DeCumbus in his first FPHL game. Backhand shot off the back of the net. Put it back in front. And play whistled down as that net came off its moorings. .6:54 to go in the first period. Prowlers still looking for the tying goal, and it was Vinny DeCumbus with the latest opportunity. French to Campbell. He tried the pass up to Batita. Henning turns it back. Federley couldn't feed it through. Now Batita up to Rowe. Rowe tried a power move, put it in front, and DeCumbus took it away. Ulmer trying to get past French. He does. Dakota Ulmer with some space shoots. And Cavalieri had it. And the whistle blows as he holds on with 6:25 to go. DeCumbus right in there looking for a rebound. Gramline comes back out for the Prowlers against the forward line for Carolina. Grebenikov worked it up the wall. Kept in by Minnie at the point. Here's Scantleberry. Turnaround pass in front, only found a Thunderbird. And now Pringle. Taken away on the back check by Graham. Dalton J trying to turn up ice. Gives it to Scantleberry. Pass was behind him. Still worked into the Thunderbirds' end. Graham and Grebenikov battling for the loose puck. Instead, Ford comes with it. Both Graham and Grebenikov put their arms up looking for some kind of call. Meanwhile, the Thunderbirds get a soft shot on net, and Danik Rodrigue eats that up easily. 5:50 to go in period number 1. Shots on goal, 9-6 in favor of the Prowlers right now. Both teams making changes. Foley line coming up. He'll draw against Blake Peavy in his third FPHL season. Acquired by the Thunderbirds in the dispersal draft after the Elmira Enforcers ceased to exist. That was before last season. Shot on net. Goes off the side of the goal. And now Foley. Off the boards. Here's Devaney with some space. Joe Devaney shot it high. And Vartiainen trying to get the rebound in the corner. Devaney couldn't get the handle, and Burge gets it out. Minnie curls away from pressure. Gino Minnie looking to take it himself. He gives to Devaney. Minnie took it back, took down Bioni just by trucking on through. But the puck squirts back out to center. Gino Minnie knocks it down, goes D to D, over to Dakota Ulmer covering for Parsons. Devaney gets it deep. He'll complete the Prowlers change as Cavallari works it around. Let's go Prowlers chance starting here at McMorran Place as Bioni tries to work it out of his own end. Hainsel took it at center. Baker got it around him, tried a nice move on net, and Rodrigue got the pad down and covers up. 4:31 to go in the first period. Prowlers trail by a goal. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. Defensive zone face-off for the Prowlers as we're back here at McMorran Place. Will Wiggleman here with you. Ulmer and Rowe get set to draw. Rowe won it back, but now Ulmer able to get it out to center. Federley, high dump in deep. Cavallari catches it like an outfielder, and he holds on. Offensive zone face-off coming for Port Huron. Thunderbirds going to change the D pairing. Pastuca and Grebenikov coming on. Campbell and French heading off. One to the boards. Knocked down by Stoya at the point. Couldn't keep it in. That puck just came out. So Carolina will get a chance at it clear. Rowe with speed through center. Dances around one Prowler, couldn't get past Ulmer, and 2-on-2 rush the other way. Ulmer drops it to Tecumseh, back to Ulmer, pushed it just wide, tried to put it back on net. Cavallari had the post sealed. Back the other way come the Thunderbirds. Keplinger blocked it away by Rodrigue. And now Hainsel. Up to Federley, he deflects it to Stoya. Matt Stoya by himself, turns and fires. Missed high and wide. Graham keeps it in at the point. Hainsel finds it. Shoots. Tucker Firth with another block. He's had a few in this game. Keplinger gets it back deep. Rodrigue came out to play it. Couldn't stop it all the way. Henning and Hainsel in a 2-on-2 scrum in the corner with Pringle and Ford. Scantleperry tried to work it up towards Jay, turned back the other way. Now it's Tucker Scantleberry getting through center. Takes the shot himself, blocked by Firth. Back in front, and Cavallari takes care of that and covers up. Under 3 to play here in period number 1. Carolina holding a 1-0 lead on the Port Huron Prowlers. Face-off won by Carolina as Butita deflects it out of his own end. Schumacher first on the puck, works it back this way. Graham trying to get there, but Firth kept it in. Matt Graham gets it just back out to center. As Bioni trying to put it back in. Graham at the red line. Gives to Jay. Jay walking the blue. Tried to backhand it on net. Scantleberry was there, but once again, Tucker Firth getting his body in front of the puck. Butita trying to work back the other way, all the way across to Ford. Ford taken in by Henning, who takes the puck from him, bounced off that weird Zamboni door bounce, and Rodrigue puts the glove on top. 2:14 to go. A defensive zone draw coming for the Prowlers, as Carolina getting a little bit of pressure here towards the end of the period, trying to extend its lead. Foley and PV draw. Puck tied up, and Devaney comes in to take it. Kicked up by Vartiainen, but Campbell takes it back. Rodrigue reverses behind his own net towards Foley. Devaney up to Foley. He enters his zone with speed, tries a backhander, goes high over top of the net. Devaney kept it in at the line, put it back towards the net. Now Joe Devaney again. Knocked down, Minnie couldn't keep it in. D to D to Parsons, and now back to Minnie. 90 seconds to go in the first period. As it's dumped in, Cavalieri reverses behind his own net. Campbell goes all the way back the other way. Minnie down deep to Devaney, turns on his man off the side of the net. Now Ulmer. Off the boards towards Vartiainen. Now Vartiainen trying to dance in front, tried to find Devaney, but unable to do so as Rodrigue gloves it. Sends it all the way up towards Ulmer, but that bounced over his stick under a minute to go in the first period. Hand pass called by the referee, and Rowe and Parsons having words as Parsons took Rowe into the boards. And a crowd gathering there. Baker trying to defend his teammate, pushing back on Parsons. Referees separating everyone except for Gino Mini and a Thunderbird over there. I believe that's Keplinger. And now finally, everyone is separated. Mini and Keplinger still barking at each other. And now Mini will turn back, get ready for another face-off, which is going to come back to center ice. Going to come back to the neutral zone. Now Mini getting into it with another Thunderbird, and referee's going to take both. It's Rowe, the other one. Mini giving Rowe an earful as both head to the box. So our first penalties of the game are going to be evened up. The only question now is if it's going to be 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, and the referee has told us it will be 5-a-side hockey. So the Ulmer line out there against the Ford line with 50.6 seconds up on the board in the first period. Waiting for them to take the penalty off of the big board here, as no time should be up on the clock because of the offsetting minors. So both Mini and Rowe get unsportsmanlike conduct minors, not affecting on-ice manpower. They'll have to wait 2 minutes and a whistle to return to the ice. Comes back to the point, Pastuca winds and fires right into Danik Rodrigue, and he'll hold on. That's Carolina's 10th shot of the game. Prowlers have 11. 38.4 on the clock. And now Gino Mini being escorted off the ice. Lucas Rowe still in the box, but Minnie has headed to the locker room. Either way, neither of them was going to play for the rest of this first period, but interesting that only one of them went to the locker room as Baker gets a shot on net, and Rodrigue gloves it. 32.2 on the clock. Federley now lines up for the draw against Ford, and Austin Federley lifts Gus Ford's stick and reverses to Schumacher. Up the boards, Ulmer gets it out. Keplinger puts it back the other way. Comes to Baker, now over to Grebenikov. Down low towards Baker, but Schumacher takes it in his own corner. Final 10 seconds of the period, Ford on his backhand gets to the middle. Delayed call coming up, and it looks like a hooking call coming against the Prowlers with 5.3 seconds. Frank Schumacher, the guilty party. Gus Ford found his way dangling towards the net. And the Prowlers will have to face their first penalty kill. And this is our first look of at the Carolina Thunderbirds power play this season. Worked over, quick shot, saved by Rodrigue, coming all the way out. As time expires, he stops Dawson Baker on the final shot of the period. 20 minutes down here in Port Huron, and the Carolina Thunderbirds holding a 1-0 lead over the Port Huron Prowlers. The goal scorer for Carolina, their first of the season, it's Justin Pringle. Gear up for the new season at the Prowlers official team store, located on the north end of McMorran Arena. The store is open every home game all season long, featuring t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, koozies, and more. Rep your team in style with gear from the Prowlers team store. We've hit the first intermission here at McMorran Place, with the Thunderbirds holding a 1-0 lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. Back here at McMorran Place, second period, just a couple minutes away from getting started between the Prowlers and the Thunderbirds. Will Wiggleman here with you. Only goal of that first period, Justin Pringle from Gus Board and John Batita. A minute 44 into the game. That gave Carolina a 1-0 lead, and that's where things stand as both teams get set to come out onto the ice for the second period. There will be 3 players in the penalty boxes as we begin play here, and only one of them will affect on-ice manpower. Gino Mini and Lucas Rowe got matching unsportsmanlike conduct penalties with 51 seconds left in that first period. That doesn't affect on-ice manpower. What does is Frank Schumacher's hooking penalty that came with 6 seconds left in that first period. So the Prowlers will start this second period in a 5-on-4 situation, and we'll see the Carolina Thunderbirds power play truly set up for the first time this season. Prowlers PK second in the FPHL so far this season after one weekend of play. 88.9%, gave up 2 power play goals to the Motor City Rockers in 3 games last week. Danik Rodrigue made 11 saves for the Prowlers on 12 shots, while Mario Cavalieri made 11 saves on 11 shots, and that's the difference as we head into period 2. Both teams getting set for the face-off. Prowlers PK having a meeting in their own end. It's going to be Parsons, Henning, Jay, and Graham, the PK unit for the Prowlers. Keplinger, Ford, Butita, Pringle, and Baker, the power play for Carolina to open up this second period, and we're underway. Baker works to forward on the breakout, this side for Pringle. Ford over to Baker, walks in, tried the toe drag, but pushed it just wide. Pringle off the boards to himself. Now Butita comes in to assist, and Baker sends it right to the opposite corner. Parsons has a couple of Thunderbirds on him. Comes back to the point towards Ford. Now Keplinger. Down low towards Pringle. Back to Keplinger. As Jay chops it off the boards. Comes back to Henning, and he'll get it all the way down. Over a minute gone on Schumacher's minor. Danny Chartrand getting some PK time for the Prowlers, along with Evan Foley. Stoya and Hainsel, the other 2 penalty killers for the Prowlers. Pringle back in, still out there. Now Butita tried to kick it up to his stick. Instead, he kicked it up to Matt Stoya. It's taken in hard behind the net by Schnapp. Pringle tried the one-touch pass across, hit Foley's skate. He'll chop it out to center. Chartrand chasing it down. Cavalieri comes out of his own net to keep it away from Danny Chartrand. Foley dumps it right back in as the final seconds tick off of Schumacher's penalty. Chartrand trying to take it away from Pringle, could not. As we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Schnapp, high shot off the post. Sent back down deep. Henning works up towards Federley. Ulmer had to come back for that one. Gets it back to Federley, trying to find Schumacher driving the net. That puck flipped up into the air. Hainsel keeps it deep. Federley trying to get there along with Bioni. Schnapp in there to help Bioni. He's taken into the boards. Henning's shot deflected wide. Schumacher tries to put it back on, deflected towards Federley. Tried to find Ulmer in front, could not. Now DeCumbus, back to Schumacher, shot saved by Cavalieri, and he'll hold on. As Gino Mini and Lucas Rowe end their sentences in the box. Rowe will stay on the ice. Minnie heads over to the Prowlers bench. Graham line coming out for Port Huron. Matt Graham will draw with Lucas Rowe. Rowe wins it back cleanly. Campbell up towards Keplinger, all the way up, off of Baker's stick and into the zone. Henning comes back to assist Schumacher and take the puck. DDD over to Frank Schumacher. That pass off of Scantleberry's skate. Turned back the other way. Keplinger tried to find Baker. He'll get it back deep towards Keplinger. Tried to come out in front. And now Scantleberry takes it away, 3-on-3 as they hit the line. Tried to slide down low for Graham, couldn't do it. Scantleberry takes it again in the corner. Jay tried to reach behind him, couldn't get the shot away, and now the Thunderbirds the other way. Scantleberry tried the long pass over for Jay. He had Foley cutting, but instead elected to go to Dalton Jay. Pass was broken up, and the Thunderbirds get it back deep. Foley trying to find Scantleberry, but pass was behind him. Scantleberry takes Pastuka in hard. Meanwhile, here comes Ford on the backhand, muscled off by Minnie. Goes Ford all the way across. Grebenikov tried to send it on net. Didn't get all the way to Rodrigue. Pringle turning on Foley in the corner. Now Ford. Sent it towards the net. Firth tried to get a shot on the bouncing puck. Pushed it wide. Pringle towards Ford in front. And that puck dribbles towards Rodrigue. He'll hold on as Ford and Foley go tumbling into the net. But no more action coming from that. 4:21 into period number 2. And Carolina still with a 1-0 lead on Port Huron. Federley and Peavy set to take the draw. Goes off of the referee's skate. Wrist shot blocked by traffic in front. Now Stoya off the boards towards Federley. Federley couldn't get it out. Martin over to Schnapp, tried to put it back in front, and it was deflected wide by Peavy on the back door. Long shot missed wide. As Stoya comes together with Peavy. 2-on-2 scrum in the corner. And Danny Martin took off his gloves again, going on after Matt Stoya. Stoya had the puck, and Martin was chasing after him, gloves off. Danny Martin wants a piece of Matt Stoya, and he'll have to be restrained and sent to the penalty boxes. His gloves and stick are in the corner. And all Matt Stoya can do is just laugh it off. And it looks like he's given the Prowlers a power play. Adam Hainsel in discussions with a couple of Thunderbirds at the bench. Those seem tame, at least for now, but we'll find out later. Prowlers power play coming into tonight, 17.6 on the man advantage. 17.6% that is. Second in the FPHL. Face-off one back. Devaney sets up as the Prowlers' top power play unit goes to work. Federley over to Schumacher, takes the shot. Gloved in and out by Cavalieri, and Schnapp sends it all the way down. Rodrigue, long pass up to Vartiainen at the red line. He'll drop it off to Schumacher, back to Larry Vartiainen. This pass into the zone taken by Butita, smacked all the way down. .40 seconds gone on the penalty to Daniel Martin, an unsportsmanlike conduct. Schumacher in the circle, back to Federley. Vartiainen gets it deep towards Foley. Back to Vartiainen, goes over to Schumacher, the one-time blast. Looked like it hit Devaney in the back. Puck hopped up in the air. Joe Devaney couldn't control it, and it's sent back all the way down by Yuri Pastuka. Both teams make changes as Federley holds behind his own cage. 45 seconds left on the Prowlers power play. Stoya into the zone. Scantleberry was offsides as that pass was behind him. Prowlers have to touch up, and the Thunderbirds will waste as much time as possible before Baker sends it down. Scantleberry gave him a hit for it. And Ulmer moves up ice with speed. Dakota Ulmer stymied at the line, but Prowlers stay on sides. Jay with a shot, he scores! And then Matt Graham gives a slash to Tucker Firth in the corner. Dalton Jay has tied the score, and Matt Graham is going to the penalty box. I'm not sure what happened before that. All I saw was Matt Graham go after Tucker Firth, give him a nice two-hander on the hands. But either way, Prowlers have tied the game. It's 1-1. A power play goal for Dalton Jay, his fourth of the year. Butita and Henning over to see what the deal is with the referees. And we'll find out what's going against Matt Graham. I didn't see what happened. See if we could take a look. Before Graham took out, went with that slash, I didn't see what prompted him to do that. But it is a 2-minute penalty to Matt Graham. There are 5 Prowlers out there on the ice right now. That doesn't seem to be correct. And now Scantleberry heads off. Penalty kill for Port Huron after tying the game. So Dalton Jay's fourth of the year, team leading as taken away by Chartrand, and Cavalieri makes an in-tight glove save on the turnover. Graham and Ulmer with the assist. Ford works it up as Carolina trying to come out, get the power play going. 0 for 1 so far on the man advantage tonight as Schumacher goes off the boards around Baker. Chartrand in by himself. Danny Chartrand saved by Cavalieri. An innocent enough looking play, but Danny Chartrand able to chip it around the Carolina defense and get a shot by himself. Ulmer, quick tip up. Pringle and Foley racing for it. Pringle knocks Foley down, and Justin Pringle turns back the other way halfway through Graham's penalty. Ulmer knocks down Pringle, and he'll go in. Baker back. Ulmer cuts to the middle, takes the shot. Couldn't get it on net. He'll go for it himself behind the net. Now Carolina back the other way. Ford. Drop back. And now taken by Scantleberry fresh off the bench. Tucker Scantleberry trying to work around Pringle. Cavalieri plays that with his stick to keep it away from the Prowlers forward. A suffocating PK for the Prowlers, at least for the first minute 40. Carolina unable to get anything going on this power play. Here's Ford into the zone. Kick save and a beauty from Danik Rodrigue. Scantleberry left the puck behind. He moves up to Federley, and Austin Federley will take care of the rest of Graham's penalty. Stoya up to Scantleberry as the Prowlers back to 5 aside. Kick save by Cavalieri, and that one almost went off of Firth back in. Firth takes in Graham in the corner. Devaney back to the point, Minnie. D to D, Stoya thought about the shot, instead toe drags into the corner, tried to work it back in front. Devaney down a stick, is defending on Schnapp, and push Schnapp off the puck. Great defense from Joe Devaney with no stick. Devaney collects his stick as Firth rips it all the way up. Stoya the only one on the other end of that, and Martin comes after Stoya. He'll go back to the penalty box. Meanwhile, here's Vartiainen into the zone, trying to go back to Devaney, and he had a backdoor opportunity, and I think Cavalieri got a piece on it of it, but either way, Prowlers going back to the power play, and once again, it's Danny Martin, who seems to have something against Matt Stoya here tonight. Already dropped the gloves twice on Stoya. Stoya not interested either time, and this time he goes after Stoya made a pass. Bit of a high hit. Call it interference or a high hit, either way. But it will be a Prowlers power play when we come back. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. It's a Prowlers power play here at McMorran Place, as we're back here with 10:34 to go in the second period of a 1-1 hockey game. Danny Martin seeming to not be happy with Matt Stoya in Stoya's first game in a Prowlers uniform since the 2019-20 season. So the Prowlers to their second power play. Dalton Jay scored on the first man advantage to tie the score just a few minutes ago. Vartiainen winds and fires. Save. Rebound was loose for a second. And now Cavalieri covers up. Foley and Firth having some words, as Evan Foley was looking for that rebound. Danny Martin picking up a cross-checking penalty on that hit on Stoya. Puck sent behind the Carolina net. Foley keeps it in possession for the Prowlers, trying to force it in front. And it's clapped all the way down by the Thunderbirds. Rodriguez stops it behind his own net. 30 seconds gone on Martin's penalty as Schumacher comes into the zone with speed. Frank Schumacher gets around a hit, but the puck was rolling on him, and Schnapp takes it and sends it back down. Prowlers start to switch units. Dalton Jay out on the ice. Jay works into the zone, pulls up, gives to Federley. Cross to Schumacher, puts it on. Cavalieri makes the save. Federley walks the line. Wrist shot blocked by Schnapp, and it comes back out to center. Pass by Schumacher, cut off by Schnapp. Here he comes into the zone, tried to dangle around. Frank Schumacher had him there. Schnapp giving Ulmer a slash as Prowlers forward stops up. 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Ulmer across to the far side. Here's Graham. Stops up, gives back to Ulmer. Down low, and Scantlebury was stopped by Cavalieri trying to redirect that puck on net. Rodriguez all the way up in Scantlebury's direction, but bouncing puck evaded him. Grebenikov got it all the way back down, and that will take care of the Prowlers power play. Here's Graham into the zone, 5-on-5. Jay tried to pull it to his backhand, but it was knocked away. 3-on-2 rush for Carolina. Ford takes the shot, shouldered away by Rodriguez, and out of play. 8:22 to go in the second period, a 1-1 hockey game between Carolina and Port Huron. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. Back here at McMorran Place, Prowlers and Thunderbirds knotted up at 1 with 8:22 to go in the second period. Face-off coming to Danik Rodrigues' left as Rowe and Foley line up for it. Foley gets it back to Parsons in the corner. Parsons one-hands it forward, but Rowe takes it back, gives it away. Here's Devaney working in. Dances around Rowe, he scores! What a goal by Joe Devaney! And the Prowlers have a 2-1 lead. Joe Devaney takes the pass from Lucas Rowe, says hello, goodbye in the Thunderbirds end, and goes all the way around Cavalieri to give the Prowlers the lead, his 4th of the season. Put that one up on the highlight reel for Joe Devaney. Puck iced right off the draw by the Thunderbirds, and the play will come back into Carolina's end. Devaney's goal unassisted, and he moves back into a tie with Dalton Jay for the team lead in goals with 4. Minnie knocks it down with the glove. One-timer by Ulmer in the slot, turned aside by Cavalieri. A couple of Prowlers come together to take down Peavy, and as a result, play offsides at the Prowlers line. We may have just seen one of the best goals so far in this young FPHL season from Joe Devaney. You know he has the hands. That's one of his best attributes. He showed it off right there. Minnie sends up to Ulmer on the right wing boards. Gets it out, pays the price, and now Schnapp is going to the penalty box. Jacob Schnapp not happy with the call. Ulmer right back up to his feet. And the Prowlers will head to their 3rd power play of the night with a chance to extend this lead. With 7:35 to go in period number 2. Shots 22-16 in favor of Port Huron. 11-4 in this second period. Just waiting to have that penalty up on the board as Tucker Scantleberry gets set to take the draw for the Prowlers. His first FPHL game for the Fox Warren, Manitoba native. Puck cleared out. Rutita and Ulmer racing for it. Ulmer gets it over to Stoya. Up to Jay. He'll slow things down as the Prowlers enter the zone and set up. Stoya at the point, walks the line, back over to Jay. Stoya again. Down low towards Ulmer, bounced off his stick, but he recollects on the sideboards. Jay again takes the shot, stopped by Cavalieri, put back in front. But Butita there to send it back to Prowler ice. Stoya backhands to Jay, kicks it up to his stick. Graham, back to Jay. Down low, Graham went under his stick. Ulmer keeps it in at the line. Stoya takes the shot, deflected on, and Cavalieri holds on. 58 seconds into the penalty to Jacob Schnapp. Officially an elbowing call at 12:25 of the second period. New power play unit out for the Prowlers. Foley wins the draw over to Vartiainen. This unit sets up Schumacher to Federley quarterbacking at the point. Down towards Foley. Back up top, Federley. Over to Devaney. Looks back, Federley, the one-timer, up high, but worked back in front, and Vartiainen stoned on the doorstep by Cavalieri. Foley put that puck right back in front of the net. Larry Vartiainen able to direct it back on goal, but Mario Cavalieri down and ready to cover that one up. 42 seconds to go on Schnapp's penalty, 6:17 on the clock in this second period. Faced off won by Carolina, rimmed all the way around and back down towards Danik Rodrigue. Federley moves it quickly to Schumacher, drops back to Austin Federley, hits Foley at the red line, lost the handle as he was heading into the zone, sent back down the ice, 20 seconds left on the power play. Schumacher to Federley. Steps up from behind his own net. Gives to Frank Schumacher on the left wing side. Rimmed all the way around off the Zamboni door. Foley first on behind the net. Schumacher shoots. He scores! Well, the Prowlers take advantage of that Zamboni door bounce. It's a power play goal and a 3-1 lead. Well, the ultimate home ice advantage is knowing that Zamboni door bounce. We saw it a number of times last weekend, and this time the Prowlers take advantage. Foley right on it, and Frank Schumacher coming through the left wing circle, blasts it past Cavalieri. It's the third goal of the period for the Prowlers. They come in and take a 3-1 lead with 5.5 to go now in the second period. Second of the year for Frank Schumacher, both coming on the power play. Here's Ford in. His attempt towards the net was blocked and cleared back to the sideboards. Long pass towards Ulmer, didn't get there. Now Decumbus trying to pull it up. Couldn't get it there. And here's Minnie. Off the boards towards Ulmer. Deflected in deep. Campbell works it around. Burge lets it go by him and back out to center. Parsons tried to chip it in, only got as far as Campbell. He took a hit from Scantlebury as he gets in deep. Ford and Minnie battle for it. Gus Ford works behind the net towards Batista. Back to the point, Campbell wrists it on and in and out of the glove of Rodrigue, but he'll cover up for a whistle with 4.5 minutes to go in the second period. 3-run Prowlers here from McMorran Place. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. back here at McMorran Place. 4:30 to go in the second period. Prowlers holding a 3-1 lead over the Carolina Thunderbirds. Goals from Joe Devaney and Frank Schumacher in the last couple of minutes have extended the lead for Port Huron. Graham into the zone. Jay all the way across Scantlebury. Back door! And Graham was stepped in front of by a Thunderbird. That was Pastuca. Turned over at center. Jay back in. Scantlebury to Jay. Save. Rebound. Jay couldn't find it in his skates. Rowe moves up to Grebenikov. Victor Grebenikov trying to circle the net. Pushed off. Now Baker trying to work it in front. And now Scantlebury tried to head up ice, but the net came off its moorings. So whistles blow as the Prowlers almost had a good opportunity going up the other way. Scantlebury having a good game so far in his pro debut. Couple of opportunities for him. Couple of good passes in front, but the Thunderbirds defense has been there to covering the man back door. As quick shot by Pringle off the draw, he scores. Carolina gets one back, and it's a 3-2 hockey game with 3:47 to go in the second period. A bang-bang play off the draw, and Justin Pringle gets his second of the game to make it a one-goal hockey game again. Off the draw, Stoya tried to work it up towards Foley. Bioni over to Firth. Backhanded all the way back into Prowlers territory, and icing is called as Hainsel gets there first. Pringle, the Thunderbirds rookie, got his first pro goal earlier tonight, and now gets his second as Devaney takes it off the draw. Vartiainen takes it in the corner, taken away by Ford, and now Butita lost the handle. Stoya keeps it deep. Hainsel keeps it at the line, sent it on. Missed it wide to the short side. Butita and Foley come together at the boards. And now Pringle into the Prowlers' end. Stoya muscles off Ford. Butita takes the puck, works down to Ford. He and Hainsel battling. Stoya lost his stick, kicked it around. Comes back again behind the net. And now Butita tried to send it in front. Sliding block by Foley prevented that. Then the puck came right through the goal mouth. Cross back to Butita. In the front, Ford. And the Prowlers got a stick on that. Devaney looking to settle things down. Works around to Vartiainen. Stoya gets back to Vartiainen. 2.5 to play in the second period. That clearing attempt off of a Thunderbird skate, so no icing. Shots right now 28-18 in favor of Port Huron. Score 3-2 Prowlers. Schumacher's helmet came off after that hit. He has to go to the bench, but the Thunderbirds are working in the Prowlers' end. Big shot comes off the boards. Rodriguez was scrambling back, and Schnapp couldn't get it at the side of the net. I wonder if Danik Rodriguez got a piece of that. Net comes off again, and Jacob Schnapp wondering how he didn't tie the score. Chaos in the Prowlers' end as they'll try and look for a clear here off the draw. Still holding on to a one-goal lead, but it's been all Thunderbirds since Pringle's goal just a couple minutes ago. As French's shot goes high. I think Henning got a piece of that coming out to the point. Here's Dustin Henning. Trying to work up, but offsides are the Prowlers as DeCumbus tried to take that pass in. Minute 49 to go in the middle frame. 3-2 Prowlers. Justin Pringle, though, has both for Carolina. He scored just a couple minutes ago to pull his team within one. Federley wins the draw back. Henning gets it in deep. Cavalieri plays it back to his defenseman in Pastuca. Off the boards and out. Henning tried to push it right back in, but Keplinger comes in with speed. Here's Keplinger with a high rising shot. Caught the glass, goes back out to center where Grebenikov plays it. Turned over to Kumbas, gets it back in deep. Now Parsons backhands it into Carolina territory again as the Prowlers forwards change. Keplinger over to Baker, tried to go back down low for Keplinger. His stick was lifted by Minnie. And now Parsons and Baker getting into it in the slot in the Prowlers' end. Linesman in to separate them. We've had a little bit of nastiness in this game so far. Now Rowan Parsons having some words. This seems to be a little bit of a calmer conversation. Parsons, Baker, and Rowe all heading back to their respective benches. Minute 8 to go in the second period. Prowlers trying to take this lead to the locker room as Graham wins it forward and it gets out. Minnie turns back into his own end, gives over to Schumacher. Now up towards Scantlebury, trying to get through center, kicks it back up to his stick, and now he's shoved off as he got the puck to the slot. Schumacher couldn't handle the bouncing puck, now he gets it deep. Butito off the boards and out. Minnie over to Jay, he one-timed it into the zone, but only got as far as Bioni, gets it back out to center. Ford knocks it down with the glove and comes in. Gus Ford, high shot. That one caught the glass and then the netting and goes out of play. 24.1 seconds to go in the second period. Defensive zone draw for Port Huron. Going to be to Danik Rodriguez left. Graham line stays on, along with Schumacher and Minnie. Keplinger line on for the Thunderbirds. Keplinger tried to work it back to Rowe for another quick shot off the draw. That's how the Thunderbirds scored their second goal, except it was Pringle and from the other circle. That didn't work this time for Carolina as the Prowlers had it all locked up. Puck stuck in the corner, final 7 seconds coming off the clock. Baker tried to work it to the middle. Scantlebury's not going to have enough time to finish this breakaway. And we'll head to intermission. 3-2 our score in favor of the Port Huron Prowlers through 40 minutes of play. It was an exciting and eventful second period as the Prowlers scored 3 straight goals. Dalton Jay, Joe Devaney, and Frank Schumacher getting the goals, but Justin Pringle, second of the game, brought his team back within one before the period expired. Secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game as they take on the Carolina Thunderbirds tomorrow, October 22nd, with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 6:05 p.m. The first 500 fans in attendance will get a free magnet schedule, and it's also a Casey's Kids Zone night. Tickets are available online at phprowlers.com/tickets or by calling the box office at 810-985-6166. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets or by phone at 810-985-6166. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. 3 goals for the Prowlers in that second period. Give them the lead heading into the third. Will Wiggleman here with you at McMorran Place. Thank you for joining us on this Friday evening in Port Huron between the Prowlers and the Thunderbirds. Getting set for the third period of play. Let's take you back into the second period just real quick. Dalton J tied things up with a power play goal 6.5 minutes in. Joe Devaney put himself on the highlight reel and put the Prowlers in the lead at the 11:52 mark of the period. And just 2.5 minutes after that, Frank Schumacher blasted home a one-time shot from Evan Foley, who took advantage of the strange bounce on those Zamboni doors in the corner to our right. That gave the Prowlers a 3-1 lead at that point. Justin Pringle scored on a set face-off play for Carolina to bring the Thunderbirds back within 1 before the period expired. Shots on goal right now, officially 28-20 in favor of the Prowlers. Danik Rodrigue, 18 saves on 20 shots for the Prowlers, while Mario Cavalieri has 25 saves on 28 shots against. We're getting set for the third period of play. It will be 5-on-5 hockey, no penalties this time, as Rowe and Federley get set to take the draw. Face-off won by Rowe. Final 20 minutes of regulation underway. Hansel off the glass, just gets out. Decumbus works it over towards Ulmer, spins around Grebenikov. Now pinned up against the boards in the corner. 2-on-2 scrum. And it pops out towards the Thunderbirds. It's Pastuka. Baker has still one touched over to Keplinger. Rowe took the shot, and that one deflected over top of the net. That was Grebenikov going to the crease, and now the Prowlers will settle down behind their own end. Stoya trying to work his way up ice slowly, taking the ice the Thunderbirds give him. He sends up here Scantleberry in front, and that one goes off of Hainzel's skate just wide. That pass hit Scantleberry in the slot, but he couldn't control it enough for a clean turnover. Now the Thunderbirds come in. Petita over to Ford, kicked into the corner. Graham off the glass towards Jay. He goes up the board, Scantleberry trying to work his way in. Instead, Carolina's going to try and get out. Just a minute and a half into the third period. Ford over to Petita. His pass deflected and comes right to Evan Foley. Ford battling with Foley for the puck. Squirts back out to center. In deep to Schumacher. He'll slow things down behind the Prowlers' net. Now works up to Evan Foley. Off the boards and in. Cavalieri steers it over to French and almost turned it over to Scantleberry. Here is Tucker Scantleberry getting it back to the point. Devaney winds and fires wide. Henning tried to shovel it back on net. Foley knocked down by French. Devaney keeps the puck in on the turnover. Joe Devaney trying to work behind the net. Goes off the boards. And now Pringle can turn and head back up the other way. Prowlers in the midst of a line change as Pringle enters the Port Huron end. Taken away by Decumbus. Heading down in front, holding his face as the puck goes out of play into the netting behind Danik Rodrigue. Dustin Henning having a conversation with the referee. Looks like he's saying he got high-sticked, but no call coming from that as the Ulmer line out there for the Prowlers against the PV line for Carolina. Grebenikov takes it at the point, walks the line, shoots. It was blocked by Ulmer, but stay in the zone. Schnapp takes a shot, hit Rodrigue in the mask. Back to the corner it goes. Pastuca over to Grebenikov, takes another shot. Waffle boarded aside by Rodrigue. And now comes out to DeCumbus. Popped right back in. Carolina offsides now, they touch up. Schumacher off the boards, tried to return to Federley. Push back towards Prowler's ice. Henning winds, fires in on goal. Cavalieri steers it to the corner. Gino Mini up to Ulmer. Try to dance through Grebenikov. Puck comes back out to center. Ulmer over to Parsons. Up to Graham. And the arm is up for icing, but Dalton J got there first. Graham takes it out of the corner. Back to Mini. Couldn't feed it down low. Rowe gets it out. Now here's Baker working on Parsons. Dawson Baker. Pushed off by Parsons, gave it away to Jay. He's got Scantlebury with him. Dalton J takes a shot. Glove saved by Cavalieri. And he'll hold on. 4:05 into the third period. Graham line staying out there for the Prowlers. Row line for Carolina. Comes back to Mini. We'll push it back down low. Scantlebury. Pushed up against the boards. Rowe comes to collect the puck. He gloves it down and gets on the move. Rowe looking behind, looking for a pass. Finds Keplinger in the corner. He rims it around. Scantlebury trying to chip it ahead. Got it towards Graham, but got stuck up in Bioni. Now Thunderbirds the other way. Keplinger lofts it behind the net. Baker avoids a hit. Now Dawson Baker dancing his way in. And a blocker save by Rodriguez. Baker got knocked down, taking that shot. The one-timer from the point by Bioni was fanned on. Puck comes back to Carolina ice. Firth up to Bioni. And now Ford coming through center into the Prowlers' end. Tries to make a move on Mini. Works behind the net. Gus Ford missed everybody with that pass. Goes all the way back down where Cavalieri plays it behind his own cage. Foley cut that one off. It was taken away, and here comes Pringle. He lost the handle, and Hainzel steals it back. Vartiainen, backhander, goes all the way across ice. Butita recollects for the Thunderbirds. And here's Campbell in the corner. Rimmed around towards French. Pringle tried to get it out. Vartiainen kept it in. Campbell slows things down behind his own net. So we approach 6 minutes into the third period. Prowlers holding a 3-2 lead over the Carolina Thunderbirds. Devaney with a steal in his own end. Pringle took it back, getting down to a couple of block shots. Another one from Hainzel. 2 from Hainzel, 1 from Foley on Justin Pringle's 3 opportunities at Danik Rodrigue. Hainzel laboring a bit as he heads to the bench. Meanwhile, Devaney gets the red and gets it deep. Ford challenged by Vartiainen in the corner. Grebenikov comes out with the puck. Here's Butita up the left wing side. Henning takes it off his stick. Schumacher chips it back towards Dustin Henning. Off the boards and out. 2-on-2 rush the other way. Ulmer tried to find the loose puck. Cavalieri able to cover up. And we'll take a timeout. 13:20 to go in the third period. Prowlers with a 3-2 lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. back here at McMorran Place. Still 3-2 game for the Port Huron Prowlers against the Carolina Thunderbirds. 13:20 to go in the third period. The Ulmer Federally Tecumseh line heading out against the Rowe, Keplinger, and Baker line. Here's Tecumseh, shoots, missed it wide. Firth takes it in the corner. Tecumseh and Federally right on him. Now kicked out to center. Here's Keplinger. Schumacher takes it in the corner. Schumacher knocked down, lifts it high, only as far as the line. Keplinger sliding, blocked by Hennings. Keplinger goes toppling over him. Here's Federally. Gets it to Tecumseh into the zone. Takes the shot, saved by Cavalieri. He gathers it back in. And Ulmer gets a hug from Bioni as he was searching for that rebound. Both teams making changes ahead of this defensive zone face-off for the Carolina Thunderbirds. Graham and Peavy set to go for the face-off. Graham wins it cleanly back to Minnie. D Parsons tried to put it on. Didn't get much on it. And here comes Schnapp the other way. Trying to dance around Minnie. He took him down, and a penalty is coming, but it's going against Schnapp. Unless the referees were incorrect. And I'm not sure what was going on there. They had the arm up for the delayed penalty, but the Prowlers had control of the puck, and it is Gino Minnie heading to the penalty box, but that play should have been whistled down long before it was. But the Prowlers will be shorthanded as Gino Minnie heads to the box for the second time tonight. Chance for Carolina to tie the game on the man advantage. They haven't scored with the power play yet tonight. Jay tips it past Pringle. He's got some space working on forward. Dalton Jay to the backhand, and he lifted it over top of the net. Worked back to Rowe as Carolina looks to come back out. Rowe gets around Jay, moving through center ice, but Dalton Jay got stick on puck. Now it's loose in the corner. Henning collects it, tries to send it down. Baker knocked it down with his stick. And now Graham collects and clears. 40 seconds into Gino Minnie's penalty. No shots yet for Carolina on this power play. Baker moving up ice. Now it's moved down low. Here's Pringle. 2 in the game already for him. He works it back to the top to Ford. Baker back to Ford. Over to Pringle, the one-timer. And Rodrigue got the big blocker on that to send it out of play with 51 seconds to go on the penalty kill for Port Huron. Scantlebury and Federally, the new forwards for the Prowlers. Schumacher and Stoya, the defenders. So that puck won by Peavy on the draw, but too far past Campbell. So the Thunderbirds have to recollect. Here's Peavy back into the zone. Turns back, fought off by Schumacher, and Federally clears it all the way down. Half a minute to go on the mini penalty. Peavy on the right wing boards. Rips it around. Stoya turning away from pressure, finds the seam and gets it down. That should take care of the final few seconds of this Thunderbirds power play. Prowlers stay perfect on the penalty kill tonight. as here comes Firth. Thunderbirds offsides as Minnie exits the box. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Foley line comes out for Port Huron. Baker, Keplinger, and Rowe, the forwards for the Thunderbirds. Devaney takes it back to Parsons. And now Parsons gets it off of Foley's stick and deep. Vartiainen trying to work in front. He had Devaney there, but his stick was tied up, so he couldn't move that puck to the slot as quickly as he wanted to. Keplinger avoided the brunt of that hit from Minnie. Now Foley works it between his legs and back out to center. Pastuca, watched by Vartiainen, sauces it over to Rowe. Rowe behind his own net, 9:39 to go in the third period. Prowlers with a 3-2 lead. Keplinger takes it at center, but turns it over to Foley. He's only able to one-hand it back into the Carolina zone. Quickly comes back out. Now Vartiainen trying to get it deep. Off of Pastuca's glove. And he'll work back to center. Baker down deep. Rowe collects, muscled off by Minnie, only gets as far as the point. Jay blocks that attempt by French from the point. Now Parsons, up to Scantlebury. Jay working on Campbell. Campbell shuts him down, but he ices the puck. And the Prowlers will have an offensive zone face-off. When we come back, 8:50 to go in the third period. Actually, we'll keep it right here for you as we give you a scoreboard update around the FPHL. Every team in the league is playing here today. We start in Binghamton, where the Mississippi Seawolves, playing in their first regular season game, hold a 3-2 lead over the Black Bears in the third period. Over in Elmira, the Columbus River Dragons with a 4-1 lead on the Mammoth. Elmira still searching for that first win in game number 3. Columbus playing in its first game. Two teams also opening their seasons tonight at Danbury Ice Arena. The Hat Tricks hold a 3-2 lead over Delaware in the second period. And finally, the Motor City Rockers are up in Watertown, New York. No score between those two teams through 40 minutes of play. Shots are just 21-19 between those two teams, between those two periods. Trevor Babin, 21 saves for Motor City, and Greg Hussey, 19 saves for the Wolves. Back underway here at McMorran Place as Butita takes it in his own corner. Graham trying to chop it down deep. Held up. Butita has it in his skates. Now Scantlebury takes it out of the pile, works to the middle, shoots, he scores! FPHL debut and first FPHL goal for Tucker Scantlebury. He's had his chances and he finally puts one home. He gives the Prowlers a 4-2 lead. A 23-year-old with his first pro goal out of Red Deer Polytechnic. A big night for Tucker Scantlebury. He gets slid onto that line with Dalton Jay and Matt Graham in place of the suspended Sam Merritt. And he is able to give the Prowlers a 4-2 lead and move it back to a 2-goal cushion as that puck goes out of play. He showed a lot of poise tonight. He's looked very confident in making the moves he wants to make. He's taken on some guys with some big hits, found his way to the front of the net, and that play was just all poise, all patience. Find his way to the middle of the ice, take all the ice that's given to him, and he ripped that shot past Mario Cavalieri. Firth on goal. Rodrigue couldn't handle the rebound. It goes to the corner. Works back out in front, but unable to take it in was Bioni. So it goes back to Carolina ice. Ulmer almost knocked that down with his glove as Cavalieri was in the corner playing it. And now Peavy backhands it through the crease. Firth drops to Peavy. Now Martin at the point. Dustin Heading trying to work it out for Port Huron. He does, and here's Henning leading the rush. 38-year-old knocked down by Firth. Now here's Ulmer. Schumacher one-timer, missed it wide. DeCumbus back to Schumacher again. That shot hit Ulmer. DeCumbus took the shot, and that one was blocked by a sliding Thunderbird. Once again, it's Tucker Firth with the shot block for the Carolina Thunderbirds. He's been eating shots tonight, stifling a number of Prowlers' opportunities. Foley and Ford set to go in the face-off circle. Rimmed around towards Baker. Now Grebenikov cut off by Devaney. Puck still in the Carolina zone. Joe Devaney after it, takes it away from Batita. Back to the point, Mini one-timer, caught glass. Comes out to Vartiainen. Tried to get it deep but couldn't as Ford comes out, hits Pastuca coming in. But Gino Mini read that, dangle like a book, and sends Devaney on his way. Glove save by Cavalieri, and he'll hold on for a whistle. 6:39 to go in the third period. Offensive zone faceoff coming for the Prowlers to Cavalieri's left. It will be Graham and Rowe taking the draw. And it heads over to Dalton J, but he split the defense at the point, so Parsons has to come all the way back into his own end to collect. J goes deeper into his own end, turns the corner and heads up ice. Try to backhand it towards Scantlebury. Instead, Thunderbirds able to come back out. Rowe taken in by Graham. Puck still there on the boards. Mini pokes at it. And another poke from Gino Mini gets that puck out of the zone. 6 minutes to play in the third. Campbell trying to dance towards the net. Mini on it again. Here's Scantlebury, Firth the only one back. Scantlebury dangles in. Knocked down, couldn't get the shot away. Keplinger moving back up. Takes it, save by Rodrigue. He holds on. And we'll get a whistle with 5:44 to go in the third period. Shots on goal, 35-27 in favor of Port Huron. 4-2, the Prowlers lead. Federley and Peavy to draw to Danik Rodrigue's right. Peavy wins it back. Schnapp makes a move, takes the shot. It's blocked, and DeKembus is the other way. Here's DeKembus, but he couldn't get it back on net. Back to the point. Hansel shoots. That one steered out of play by Cavalieri. Vinny DeCumbus almost found himself with a good opportunity, but the Thunderbirds able to back check quickly and shut it down. Still an offensive zone faceoff for the Prowlers. One back by Federley. Here is DeCumbus trying to cut back to the middle. Hansel gets it back deep. Here's Chartrand playing in Ulmer's place on this line. And now Hansel plays it between his own legs and rims it around in Chartrand's direction. Moved back out to center, and Firth tries to get back in, out of Schnapp's reach. Hansel rims it this side again. This time it's Vartiainen on the boards. Foley pokes it past one man. Now Vartiainen gets it back up towards Evan Foley. And we have two players heading to the box. One from each team. It looks like the referee signaling 4-on-4 action. It's Hansel and Burridge heading into their respective penalty boxes. Must have been some kind of disagreement behind the play I didn't see. But they will be matching minors for those two. And we'll have it when we come back. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the Prowlers YouTube page. Four-on-four action here at McMorran Place as the Prowlers and Thunderbirds are under 5 minutes to go in regulation. Port Huron with a 4-2 lead. Ford behind his own net. Works it over to Keplinger. Now Schumacher cut it off. Here's Frank Schumacher, shoots. Missed it high and wide. Rowe the other way, trying to start a 2-on-1, but he couldn't collect the puck. Stoya curls back behind his own cage, moved up to Foley. 3-on-3 rushes, Stoya joins it. Foley hits Stoya with that. Puck was in Stoya's equipment and the referees lost sight of it and they blow it dead. So Hansel and Burge both get 2 minutes for slashing. Just some shenanigans behind the play. Face off back at center. One back into Carolina end. Ford spins off a hit from Scantlebury and Gus Ford moves up ice. Thunderbirds leading scorer last year with 84 points and 43 goals. 84 was a franchise high. Delayed penalty looks like coming against Port Huron. No, it looks like the Thunderbirds are just pulling Cavalieri. Empty net. Here comes Scantlebury looking for his second. That one blocked by Ford. So it's a 5-on-4 advantage for Carolina as they pull Cavalieri with close to 4 minutes left. We're down to 3.5 now. Pringle worked over on the sideboards. Comes to Scantlebury from long range, just missed it wide. Keplinger touches up for the icing. So my apologies, I saw Cavalieri heading to the bench. I just assumed it was a delayed penalty as Minnie getting into it on the bench with a couple of Thunderbirds, and now Rowe is going to head to the box. And I think Gino Minnie will as well. Rowe and Minnie still barking at each other. And Minnie's being sent to his dressing room. Rowe will sit down in the box. Minnie to the dressing room. And we'll see if this affects on-ice manpower. But as I was saying, there was no delayed penalty against the Prowlers. The Thunderbirds just pulled Cavalieri to make it a 5-on-4 advantage with one man in the box for both teams. It was 4-on-4, then it was 5-on-4. Now 27 seconds left for Heinzel and Burridge. Referees discussing with Gus Ford and Dustin Heading. 2 minutes going up on the Prowlers side for Gino Minnie. We'll see if that's it. Right now, on the FPHL website, they have Lucas Rowe up, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. And we'll let you know when the rest of the penalties come in. And it looks like it will be a Thunderbirds power play. Cavalieri hanging out in net at this point. Yes, he'll stay there. Dakota Ulmer going to serve for Gino Mini. So likely a 2-10 for Gino Mini, but we'll let you know for sure when we know. A 4-on-3 power play for Carolina, trailing by 2 with 3:21 to go in the third period. Graham, the lone forward for the Prowlers. He loses the draw to Baker. And Carolina sets up. Here's Keplinger with a lane to the net, sends it back to Ford. Thought about the shot, over to Keplinger. He scores on the one-timer. It only took 12 seconds, but on the 4-on-3 power play, the Thunderbirds are back within one again with 3:09 to go in the third period. Gus Ford going to pick up his third assist of the game. And Keplinger his first of the season. Keplinger was acquired by Carolina from Motor City in June in exchange for Tommy Cardinal. This is his second stint with the Thunderbirds. Face-off back at center ice. We're back to 4-on-4, but it seems they took the wrong penalties down from the clock on top of center ice, so we will pause and wait for that to be all correct. Carolina back within one. Prowlers out shooting the Thunderbirds 36-27 in the game, 8-7 in this period. And it looks like it will be 4-on-4. 15 seconds until Hansel and Rowe come out. Now still more delay. Excuse me, it's Hansel and Burridge waiting to come out in 15 seconds. Parsons had it in his skates. Came over near the Prowlers bench. And now Henning, he and Keplinger come together in the corner. Graham comes to help out, works behind the net to Parsons. Up to Jays. We're back to 5-on-5. Burridge gave it out to Batista. Trying to dance through a couple of Prowlers. Tried to turn it on net. That goes out of play off of Henning's stick. 2:40 to go in the third period. It's a 4-3 Prowlers lead. Josh Keplinger with the power play goal for the Thunderbirds. Just moments ago, pulling them within one. Face-off one back by Ford. Campbell keeps it deep. Butita in a battle with Schumacher, worked back out to the point. That shot hits Devaney's stick and goes out of play. Tucker Firth released it. And now it's Dawson Baker who wants a piece of Matt Stoya, taking up Danny Martin's fight. That's not a fight that Stoya is interested in at all. So we'll head back to the face-off circle. Foley and Peavy to draw. Peavy wins it back. Pringle off the draw. And that shot was blocked. 2-on-2 rush the other way. Schumacher leading it. Drops to Vartiainen. Takes it. Save. Squirts just past the net. Now Schumacher in the corner. He's hit from behind. Hard. Vartiainen's going to go after Campbell. Wrestles him to the ground. We have a brouhaha in the corner in the Carolina end. Schumacher still down on both knees. Schnapp and Stoya are wrestling a bit in the slot. Referee coming over to break them up. Schumacher back to his feet, helmet off. Campbell heading to the box. As of now, he's the only one. And this would be huge for the Prowlers. With 2:10 to go, if they have a 2-minute power play, that would be a big help. Schnapp, or excuse me, that's Stoya's glove that's hit the ice. Seems they're escorting Larry Vartiainen to the penalty box as well. We'll see if that's evening things up. Ford and Jay to handle the discussions with the referees over on the far side. Butita and Foley over near the benches having discussions with the other referee. Crucial moment in this game. Vartiainen is actually back at his own bench now. So they may not be taking him yet. Jay and Ford head back to their respective benches to let their coaches know what the deal is. Of course, only one coach on the Prowlers bench tonight. Assistant coach Alex Johnson suspended for this game. And just 2 minutes up on the board for Nathan Campbell. So will be a Port Huron Prowlers power play with 2:10 to go. And I'm sure a very conservative power play from Port Huron. Face off one back to Ulmer. Here's Stoya walking the line, taking the shot right into Cavalieri. He finds it amongst the traffic, and he'll hold on. Just 7 seconds into the man advantage. Face off one back by Graham again. Once again, Ulmer straight to Stoya. This time he works to Jay on the sideboards. Graham looks for Ulmer cutting down. Pass was deflected away and Ulmer just got it deep. Firth trying to bang it off the boards and out. He gets it as far as center. Stoya gets it back up towards Graham. Battle at the line. Ulmer tried to pull it out. Dakota Ulmer just keeping it in front of him, and now Graham sauces it up to Jay. Dalton Jay back to Graham. Over towards Jay. He hit the side of the net. And Stoya kicks it down low. Now back up to Matt Stoya at left point. Graham tried to slide down low. Second chance opportunity. Gets it to Scantleberry. Working behind the net. In front, Jay! And Cavalieri makes the save with 1:03 on the game clock in the third period. Timeout called by the Carolina Thunderbirds. So 1:03 on the game clock, 53 seconds on the penalty clock. Let's give you another score update around the FPHL. They've gone final in Binghamton. The Binghamton Black Bears coming back to defeat the Mississippi Seawolves 4-3 in overtime at Visions Veterans Memorial Arena. Over in Elmira, about midway through the third period, Columbus with a 4-2 lead on the Mammoth. Danbury still holding that 3-2 lead over Delaware at the end of the second. And the Rockers and Watertown Wolves are scoreless early in the third. Foley down low with time, backdoor. Vartiainen couldn't get it on net. Back to the point, here's Stoya. In the final minute, takes the wrist shot. Cavalieri was down, just got a piece of it. Foley, worked over by Grebenikov. Keplinger came in to help. Now back to the point again, Stoya. Here's Devaney, tried to go to the backhand in the crease, and that puck just did not cross the line. And we'll see what happens here. As that puck came out in front, bounced off of Cavalieri's back. It was loose in the blue paint, squirting towards the net. But the referee in the corner with a good look at it said it didn't cross the line. I didn't see it cross the line either. So we stay at 4-3 with 34.7 seconds left on the game clock. 24 seconds on the penalty to Campbell. Grebenikov reverses towards Ford. Went through him. Vartiainen first on it. Down towards Foley. Here's Ford. Working out from behind his own net. Now up to Keplinger. Cavalieri to the bench. Keplinger stop up move. Lost the puck. Stoya tried to bat it out. Moved in towards the slot. Loose. Sliding blocked by Foley. Keplinger towards the net. Off of Rodrigues' mask and out of play. 5.4 seconds to go in the third period. A 4-3 game and the biggest face-off of the evening about to take place to Rodrigues' left. Matt Graham set to draw with Keplinger. 6-on-5, won by Graham. Henning holds it on the boards. And the Prowlers take the first game of this 2-game weekend series from the Carolina Thunderbirds by a final score of 4-3. And for the Prowlers, it's their third win of the season. Tucker Scantleberry, his first career FPHL goal, is the game winner, scored here in the third period as the Prowlers celebrate over to our right. A big win for Port Huron, taking one from a strong Carolina Thunderbirds team in their first game of the year. So as the Prowlers salute their fans, we'll give you a quick game recap. First period, Justin Pringle got the scoring started under 2 minutes in. Dalton J., Joe Devaney, and Frank Schumacher scored consecutively in the second. And Justin Pringle brought his team within one before the end of that period. It was 3-2 Prowlers heading into the third. Tucker Scantleberry's first career FPHL goal at 11:33 gave the Prowlers back their 2-goal cushion, and they needed it as Josh Keplinger scored a late power play goal to bring the Thunderbirds back within one, but that's all they would muster. Final score here from McMorran Place, 4-3. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Port Huron Prowlers Hockey. We're back again tomorrow. Puck drop here at McMorran Place is 6:05, and the stream will start about 5:45 with pregame getting set to get underway at 6:50. We hope to see you then. For everyone here, I'm Will Wiggleman. Have a great rest of your night.